Hey, hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. In this video, we are going to cover what is a Docker volume, why we needed the Docker volume, and how we can map the folder inside the Docker volume. So basically, if you create a container, suppose you create the database container like MySQL container or that MongoDB container. So that container should have that database, okay, your company database or something. So as you all aware about that, once the container is go die, inside the data of that container also going to lost. Okay, so, but the data inside the container you require even the container goes die. So you need to map or you need to attach the volume inside the container or you need to map the drive inside the container. So this is the main advantage for that drive. If your container goes die, and then even you can have your persistent data. Okay, so with the help of the Docker volume you can make data persistent with the help of the Docker volume. There's a two way you can manage the data persistence inside the container. First one is the data volumes. We will learn for the video how we can use the data volume. And second one is the bind mount point in a container. We will going to discuss in the further video lecture how we can use the bind mount point inside the container and how we can use the data volume. Container persistent data problem. So why we use this data volume or map drive? Because as I said that the container have the persistent data problem, means if the container goes die, inside the all data inside that data it will goes lost. Okay, so container emulate once deployed never change, only deploy. So you also aware about this, that if the container having its data, that will going to lost if the container will going to destroy or going to restart. Okay, configure changes or version update needed redeploy. Suppose you have one MySQL container that have some database inside that container, and that MySQL running approx the 5.7 version. But in a further in a future, your company want to upgrade that MySQL version. So if you going to update that MySQL version inside the container, that will destroy your data. That in that case you will lose your data. So if you have mapped the volume, so you have the persistent data. Your data will be there inside your Docker host. Okay, that is the main advantage. Means you don't want to lose your data. That's the main reason you use the Docker volume or host that map that volume. Okay. So by default, all file created inside the container are stored on the writable container layer. The data does not persist when the container no longer exists, and it can difficult to get the data out for the container if another process need it. So that is the main reason we are using the volume inside the container, or we map the folder inside the volume. So Docker has the two options for the container to store files inside the host machine. So we will learn further in a deep dive, and we will go to perform the lab as well for the same. So one first method is the volume, is called the Docker volume, and second process is that bind mount. Okay. So volume, so we can create a volume just like we create like network, we create like image. Same way we can create the volume. Command will be the same, Docker volume create and the volume name. Docker volume ls command will reflecting all the existing volume inside your Docker host. So same way you can delete the your volume with the help of the Docker volume rm and then volume name. So same way you can create the volume. You can, how you can assign the volume, we will go learn further. So volume is that so volume are the stored in the part of the host file system. Means the volume should be having inside the Docker host machine or the virtual machine itself only. You cannot create the volume inside the other virtual machine or other server, and you can not attach that volume inside the Docker container. Okay, so volume should be have on the same Docker host where your container is running. So volume are created and managed by the container. So only a volume, and that volume create, manage, delete only the means Docker only, Docker service only. Okay, volume can be created by the volume command. So as I said, if you want to create the volume, the command will be the Docker volume create. Okay, when you create a volume, it is stored within the directory on the Docker host machine. Okay, volume cannot be removed when user destroy the container. So when you create the volume and attach the volume to any container, so that container if goes die, but your data should be persistent. Okay, will be persistent. So in this video, we will learn what is a Docker volume and what is the advantage of that Docker volume, how many types of volume for data persistence inside the container. We will going to learn deep dive all this lab in the further video. If you have any comment, any suggestion, please note it down inside the comment section of this video. Thank you for watching.